we're gonna get this game on its way as I continue to multitask between professional life and personal life. But we're gonna get this next game on our way, and we're gonna do something special here, inspired by last night's events. If you didn't watch I can't talk. We're gonna do something special. We're gonna do something called Temps Vision. This kind of transpired last night, and this is where we follow the camera and cast according to what we see of the player's view. In order to make this fair and even, we're actually gonna start from both sides. So, I mean, obviously, when we introduce our players, we're going to have both sides be introduced, but then we're going to just switch between the two about every 2 minutes or so until I'm actually able to dedicate some time. So, spotting in the top right corner of this map, Expedition Lost, it is our Protoss player from the Confederation. It is Shadow. And the bottom left-hand corner, it is our Zerg player, CalebAracous, already on a 1-kill streak, looking to get some more blood. Can he do this in a PvZ? We'll find out. So, CalebAracous vision. So, we're going to watch him as I finish my stuff that's outside of work. Or that's outside of this. And, oh, no. There we go. Crap. So, follow his vision. We'll see if he's actually doing anything. Doom. So, CalebAracous looking to get up to the 15 drones, but is he going to get a pool or is he going to go for a hatch first? Looks like his overlord is kind of going towards a natural, so that's going to suggest a hatch first. So we're going to see if he's going to get punished by this. So switching to the other player's view, we do see that the pylon is at the low ground right now, and it looks like he's actually going to go with the Nexus first himself. So both players electing to expand right away. So, looks like our Protoss player Shadow's gonna, do the normal gateway opener. So, can continue doing his thing. We see in the production tab that CalebAracous is doing his normal build. So, we're seeing the spawning pool go up, and he's gonna go ahead and just stick with the 2 base for now. And we're gonna see how things turn out. We do see 1 gas coming from the Protoss, so it's going to be interesting. He probably is going to get that so he can get his warp gate and get, kind of a usual, like, just basically a delayed 1 baser, except for he's going to have 2 bases. The Dancing Overlord is dancing. We can see that Caleb is looking to be friendly in this matchup, to say the least. So as we'll be switching over to CalebAracous view in just a moment here. So, all right, back to the CalebAracous view. So, CalebAracous is going to send out his links, going to be able to scout a little bit. The Overlord is doing some of the scouting already, so considering there's no units that can shoot up from the Protoss, he's going to be able to see that. He's just starting to get his queens. I thought I saw a Geyser. Nope, I didn't. We do see he's getting his 3rd base, though. He did see that early expand, so he's going to get that 3rd base. So kind of looking to get caught up a little bit. Zerglings are going to poke in the front, see what they can do. They're going to see the Zealot, but they're also not going to see a cannon. So what's our Protoss player gonna do? So, all right. Continuing CalebAracous' view, the Overlord's gonna continue scouting. It's looking to get out, but we do see a Stargate actually coming up from from our Terran player, or from our Protoss player, and the Mothership Core is actually going to push away these Zerglings, so not too much more damage. It's just shield damage at the gateway at this point in time. Going back to Shadow's vision, we're going to see that the Mothership Core is going to kind of look for those lings, see if they can get a little bit more damage done, but yeah, we're going to see them. They're both kind of getting their thing figured out. So the Stargate's going to start up with the opener, probably going to go into an Oracle, or that he's going to go into Phoenixes, and the Roach Warren's going to be here. So this is going to be an interesting matchup, I believe. So that's not good. Okay, so what else to note? Stargate has completed, but nothing's being created. Oh, there it goes. There goes the Oracle right there. So, switching back to CalebAracous' view, the pylons do get scouted, so the Lings are going to go ahead and get that taken out. And since Warp Gate is not complete, you won't be able to defend that. So CalebAracous looking to get that other pylon as well. So the Queen's going to continue to spread creep, and we do see the layers just started. So little sound effects. The Oracle's going to take out these Zerglings, so we're going to see Zealots follow up, but we're going to see 7 Roaches and some Spore Crawlers be placed down. So I think CalebAracous is doing alright for this, but we're going to go into Shadow's view, and he's going to see how much damage he's going to be able to do to this third base. And it looks like not too much, but there are the Mothership Core being taken out by the Queens. Roaches come out. There's going to focus on the Stalker, but there's going to be some more Stalkers, and the Roaches are going to need to get their damage done. So Shadow's going to see that Caleb is kind of well set up here, and with a little bit of pushback, he's not going to get as much damage done. So he's kind of going to regroup, get his reinforcements, get another wave of warp-ins, and then go ahead and do some more damage. But he is looking to get that third base up and running, so that's kind of what the pressure is designed at this point. So pretty cool to see that. So, alright, Shadow's going to continue to try to get some pressure done. We do see the Zerg armies kind of spread out a little bit, so that's something that the Protoss army has going for itself. We'll go back to CalebAracous' vision, and we do see that it kind of has more of a concave. It does take out the Mothership Core, so I think that's going to stop the pressure at this point. That, or he's going to continue working. Kind of being active around here, kind of forcing that pressure, but I think the Protoss player is looking to just kind of continue macroing at this point. So some more pressure goes down, and we see the Oracles are both engaged as well. So now the first Oracle goes down, but the Queen's going to get transfused, and the second Oracle is going to go down as well. So overall, this pressure is kind of being defended by CalebAracous pretty well at this point. So it looks like he's going to have this defended. If we go back to Shadow's view, we see that third base is just completed, and he's going to go ahead and get his second set of gases. And he's going to look to take out that Overlord, just because any little damages they can do, we'll be able to give him an advantage at this point. So, this freaks never got in. So, it looks like Shadow's going to warp in some more units, continue the pressure. And just gonna go ahead and go from there. So looks like he's gonna continue pressing in. He has more Stalkers going through. We do see that the Hydra list then completed for CalebAracous, so he's gonna be able to get those Hydras, and that's gonna help with defending at this point because of the amount of DPS they can output. So very, very interesting to see. To see how Caleb's going to deal with this, and it looks like there's going to be more pressure at the third, so might be able to get a snipe off of this hatchery, but Roach is going to come in. They're going to get enough damage. There's going to be a good amount of Stalkers here, so not enough to be able to take a good engagement decisively, but enough to kind of have the upper hand on things if an engagement should happen at this point. So continuing to put on a little bit of pressure. CalebAracous is starting to get some more Hydras, and what we're going to see is that there might be a full engagement on right here. So Roaches are going to to take out the stalkers, and being that they're now more roaches, they're actually going to be able to have the advantage going into this. So this might be ending poorly for our Confederation players. So going to be able to take out those pylons at the top. Each pylon can take it out is one less area to warp in and such. So good for CalebAracous. He's going to start on the second one, but stalkers are going to get some free damage down. So now we're getting to a good amount of roaches per stalker count, and we do see the hydras are in there too, but there's not too many of them so far, so they're not going to be able to provide much DPS until they start getting more of them. There's more hydras, so now they're going to push up, and it's good that he has his creep up so much, because having that creep, giving them that speed advantage, being able to chase those stalkers and be able to take on those engagements is going to be what's going to win CalebAracous this defense. So switching to Shadow's view at this point, he's not even looking at his army. He's sending the stalkers back home. I think he realizes that this is pretty much it at this point for pressure. So he's going to return home, kind of continue macroing up, get the next farm attack. Probably going to put down a robo at this point and then kind of go from there. So that's kind of what we're planning on probably seeing him do. But CalebAracous is currently at 173 supply, while Shadow is at 108. So Caleb's doing really well for himself. He's doing quite excellent. So this game might be ending pretty soon. So we're gonna continue to see this, see how this is played out. 01/16/2015. So we see CalebAracous is looking to get into his main from the main from the third base side. He breaks down the rocks and he gets the pylon. Sentries get warped in, but enough units get through, so those sentries are going to get wiped out. It looks like these units are going to just basically get taken out, but they are going to take out the Stargate. That's going to limit kind of the tech options going forward, at least for a little bit of time being, so he can't get that transition and such. If we go back to CalebAracous' view, we're going to see that he's kind of regrouping. He's getting his Hive and his Spire, and he's getting his +1/+1 finally. He hasn't had the chance to get those upgrades because he was defending that pressure for that long period of time. So Caleb looking to regroup to put down some more pressure of his own with a large amount of hydras and not as many roaches and such. So the roaches are going to try to do a double prong attack. So main armies going to the left and the roaches to the right. Burrowing his units will go ahead and get some support, but this army is going to come through and they're going to take out the mothership core right away. They're going to take out a few units, and CalebAracous continuing to do his thing. He does see that the other army's moving out, so he's probably going to get a sandwich going. So there are a lot of stalkers there, so he's going to have to pull out at this point. So going back to Shadow's view, he's going to continue to warp in some more sentries, continue to build up his stalkers. It looks like he just killed one of his own stalkers. And so, what more is there to talk about? Platform/core. So, CalebAracous getting some Vipers. He's going to use them in case Colossus pop out. Otherwise, getting those Immortals will be pretty good for him as well. This is 47. And then Essential Apps. As you can tell, I'm multitasking right now. 836. Harness config 1.124. The code has been placed out on the SFTP already in the folder that is today's date. I'll update with results tomorrow morning when I get into the office. Thanks, Jake. Oh, Eric Bobby needs to be in on this too. So, sweet. We're done with that. We're gonna get back to this. We're actually going to go to all vision now and get a real cast. It looks like we're going to have this big engagement here. CalebAracous being red and the pink Protoss. So a large amount of Hydras, and it looks like strong colors are turned on. Oh yeah, because game hard loaded. So Um, pretty nice to note. We're gonna see where this engagement is happening. Both armies are kind of split at this point, so but there's just this main stalker army. The Hydras are looking to get that surround, but oh, there's gonna be some blinding clouds are gonna get placed down on these stalkers, so that's gonna reduce the amount of stalker DPS. Immortals get pulled in, and they're gonna get taken out right away. And it looks like if we were to guess, the Hydras and the Roaches are gonna prevail at this point. So. Vipers are going to be brought back, but there's going to be some force fields going down, and then that's going to reduce the DPS of our players. So Immortal is going to go around. We're going to see if that actually gets sniped. So that's going to be a little bit of a miss micro opportunity for Shadow. And these units are going to burrow, and there's no observer around to be able to see that. Realizing this, he starts an observer pretty quickly here, and we're going to go. And he's going to start warping in some High Templar as well. And then he has this +2/+2. While the Protoss army is currently a +1/+1. And kind of almost a whole upgrade cycle behind. Not completely, but, you know. So we're going to see that there's 4 bases total. And Roaches are going to come through, do some damage to this base, but not too much. But we do see that he's able to max up. So Shadow's starting to catch up on things a little bit. CalebAracous hasn't been taking the engagements that he wanted to. So it's one of those things that if CalebAracous allows the Protoss player to get up to that max army, he might very well lose this game. So Stalkers are just going to barely miss these Roaches. So they're going to be able to get some damage done. Going to take out some key tech there. So, but the big question is, what's going to happen right here? So Roaches are at the front waiting to go in. Hydras and Vipers are going to move around to be able to try to get some damage done over there. We see a 5th base is being taken by CalebAracous over on the right side. And it looks like he's getting ready for this concave. So getting ready with that. He's not going to get the full one, but storms go down. But Blinding Cloud also goes down. So not the best engagement for both. But we see the Roaches are actually in the base. It actually forces some warp-ins at this point. And looks like they're going to continue kind of being at a little bit of a standstill as they're both trying to get the better concave. So Protoss army walks up the ramp. This might have been a bad move, but you know, he pushes the Zerg army back. So what is Caleb going to do? We see Corruptors coming out right now. Not actually honestly sure why the Corruptors coming out. Since there are no Colossus being made. So oh my god, my ear. So Protoss army is going to continue doing his work. He's going to force a cancel on this base, most likely, since there is no one to contest it at that point. So good for the cancel. But he's going to start doing his dominating march at this point. He actually, we didn't see this, but he transitioned to Broodlords. He got his Greater Spire at his 3rd main? Yeah, that is main. It's right here. So good for him to be able to identify that. The Blink Stalkers, though, can pretty much snipe this out, but getting this around there and kind of coming from the side, it might be bad. We do see Blinding Cloud is in the back. AoE storms are going down, so the Roaches and Hydras are actually getting taken out pretty much. So now the Stalkers are going to come, and these Broodlords are exposed. So a really nice tactical move at this point, but it didn't win him the engagement that he wanted because the Broodlords were kind of in the wrong flank at this point. They should have been support underneath them, and they just kind of got taken out. So they are going to push this army back, but at what cost? At what cost? So Shadow's still at 145 supply, CalebAracous at 180, but it's within anyone's game at this point. So +3/+3 just finishing up for Caleb here in the next 30 seconds. And and while Protoss is just getting started with his whatchamacallit, his +1/+1. So we do see pressure at the 4th, so it looks like they're just going to snipe this hatch here, and then they're going to get out as fast as they can before this army actually comes up. So Caleb should actually get rid of these observers, because these observers could actually do a lot of damage in the run and such like that. So he should probably have some of his own overseers here. We do see a warp and a zealous right here. So we're going to see the armies kind of split up. We see part of the army is going to go and try to get some more harassment at the main base, and they're going to get followed by this main base. But looks like there's going to be defense at home. So, but we're going to see how much damage is going to be done by CalebAracous. He's going to start taking out some pylons here, and yeah, that's basically going to be it at this point. So he's going to try to get some more pylons, try to get some more damage, get the army distracted as Caleb starts to get his own bases up and running. So he's going to burrow them, but there are observers there. Like I said, he needs to get rid of that. And we're going to see that the Roach Hydra Zergling composition is going to continue. So swarm hosts are being made. I don't know if Enduring Locust has been upgraded, but now that the swarm hosts are here, this should get a lot more free units in Caleb's favor, because Caleb likes free units. Who doesn't? He tried Broodlords, now he's going swarm hosts. And interestingly enough, the Protoss is not juking around, so that came out funny. So this large Stalker Death Ball is kind of keeping the Protoss player alive. He's just enough DPS, and just mix in a couple units like the Immortals and the Sentries and such, and you got yourself a winning recipe. But with the Swarm Holes coming out, this could all change. So chasing this Queen down, Swarm Holes aren't exactly in the most ideal spot at this point in time. They should really be positioned to send a wave against this army if they're in the defensive manner, but they do see that the Locusts are coming, and he sees this, so, and by he means Shadow, so he knows he has to be careful at this point. So High Templar warped in for AoE damage. He's going to continue pumping out this High Templar, and the Mortals will go along with it for the Roaches. We see another expansion coming down at this point, so Zealot Harassment is going to take out this hatchery, so good for Shadow at this point. And then we're going to see kind of an engagement. Swarm Host looking to be brave, but unfortunately he's not a free unit. He's going to go down as well. So we do see that the Protoss is looking to blink up into the main of CalebAracous, and by blink up I mean he can probably just take down the rocks at this point, but Caleb doesn't see this. He doesn't see this at all. So Protoss can wreak havoc in the main if he really wanted to. He can get a nice amount of Overlords. There's a Greater Spire there that limits the tech choice, and yeah, now he's going to take out the Greater Spire, and what else is there to do? So plus this little funnel right here is going to prevent the Zerg player from getting up, but he is able to get that. But then there's going to be that press down with the High Templar and the Immortal, so Swarm Hearts are going to go ahead and get some more Locusts, but there's going to be Storms that are going to come down on those. So we see the Swarm Hosts are going to get up, but now we see the army's going to kind of start doing the surround, kind of starting to focus fire the Immortals, trying to get out of the Storms at this point, but we might actually see them in a sandwich. But this is a we see the Swarm Hosts and the Locusts are going to start doing some pressure. Not the entire Zerg army is not engaging, but the Locusts are going to start taking out some units. And this might be the last stand of CalebAracous at this point, but he still had his supply. I presume those are workers at this point. Swarm Hosts are going down. They're going to get a couple Locusts out, but this Protoss army is actually just about dead at this point. So more Roaches and Hydras are going to come out, but the big key thing is that the Locusts are going to be here to clean up this mess. So they're going to get these last Immortals, and that's going to be a big loss for Shadow. I think at this game point, CalebAracous might have done the trick, so this is going to be interesting. The only thing keeping things in is the macro at this time. Another Zealot run by, but with all these Spine Crawlers coming down, and the Hydra is going to do that, this is going to be a very, very well defended fifth base at this point. So another base being taken by Shadow right up here. I feel like the Swarm Hosts need to be going down, and it looks like that's exactly what they're going to do. So and the Zealots and the Immortals are going to start trying to clean up things in the middle. So Swarm Hosts are going to go. They're going to start taking out these pylons and die right after that because their range isn't much. Did he forget Enduring? Where's his Infestation Pit? I don't know if the Locusts have Enduring Locust upgrade. So army engagements happening right here. Actually a lot's happening right now. So the Locusts are doing that pressure right now, and the army's trying to do some split damage, but they're doing a good job. But I feel like that now that the Zerg player has Swarm Hosts, a lot's going to be happening. I think Caleb needs to be a little bit more aggressive with these Swarm Hosts to be able to get some more damage done. But at the same time, he's just denying mining at this point. So it doesn't look like they have Enduring Locusts. He'll need to remake that infestation pit if he wants more swarm hosts, or if he wants to go back up to hive. But it looks like actually his hive never got sniped at this point. So Protoss army goes out with immortals and void rays and some zealots. This is the most that can happen at this point. I got a couple archons in here, but really this Roach Hydra army is going to be able to take it out. Even the gold base is being taken by Caleb. He knows that once he has this gold base mining, he'll be able to get some more work done. So we see the Roach Hydra army is in position, ready to kind of look for this army. He doesn't quite see him yet, but he actually sees him at the Zelnaga tower, so he knows he's there. The swarm hosts are going to continue doing their work. They're up a little bit closer now that they have that creep there. And the Zerg player, Caleb, is actually seeing the army here. So, pretty small army, easily can take on this, easily can be taken out by these Roaches and Hydras. So, Swarm hosts are going to continue doing their thing. They're going to pressure up. They're going to take out this Nexus at this point. And yeah, now we're going to see the big engagement happen between these two small armies, possibly. So Caleb smartly sends a wave of swarm hosts here to help kind of get that concave and the force positioning at this point. So, but he's just kind of waiting. Enduring Locust is halfway done, so once he has that, he's going to be able to do a lot more damage from a lot farther range at this point. So, ooh, this is interesting. Caleb is hiding at the end, but air units is not going to can see over these trees, so he's going to run away just a bit, kind of start microing out. The Hydras are going to take out the mothership core. And then the Void Rays are going to kick into high action, and I think the Time Warp might actually give Protoss player the edge, but there's just too many Hydras right here, so they're going to be able to push away these Void Rays. These Immortals, they go down. This base is being taken out by a Queen. You don't see that every day. And the Swarm hosts are actually going to burrow into the main. They're going to take out all these gateways. There's more Void Rays here, but there's these Hydras as well. I think at this point Caleb has it secured. He just needs to play this as safe as possible, getting those Hydras in the action. The Zealots are going to get taken out pretty quickly here, and then actually the Hydras are going to get taken out by these Void Rays, and they're going to push them back. So not completely dead, but again, these swarm hosts are just continuing to do some more damage. The gateway count has been reduced, and there's a large amount of Hydras here, so be able to clean up some more. So swarm hosts are going to get back here. Going to try to be a bit more defensive as Caleb gets his gold base up and running. We do see that he is a little kind of low on workers. He has that 54, and as long as he gets this base saturated in the middle, he'll be good to go. He'll be golden. No pun intended. So that's going to be fun. Protoss player is going to try to get this this base. Caleb doesn't see this yet. In fact, he only just sees the probe, but now he sees it. So he's going to focus fire down, and that's going to cause that cancel. So swarm hosts are knowing that the Protoss army is moving out, so sends it appropriately in that direction. And the Roach Hydra army is going to catch these Immortals off, and we're going to see another engagement here. So look at just finishing up. That's going to be GG. So CalebAracous wins it 38 minutes into this game. So pretty exciting game that just happened. Pretty awesome to see this kind of play. And we're going to see who the next player from Confederation is. It's currently 3-3. So this is going to be game number 7 of this best of 9 series. So we might get a full 9 games out of this. So this is pretty exciting. Who's going to be next in this matchup? So it looks like Warlords is up. So Warlords, if you're looking at the stream still, get out. We play fair in this. But